There's BLM, and if you're dyslexic, you'd think that was MLB.
Oh, right.
You know, you got to see a guy with a baseball bat, and it's a BLM. You're like, oh, maybe he's going to the game.
Interestingly, MLB, there's not as many bees
Yeah,
left.
yeah.
But I tried to do this joke 20 years ago. There are bees. They're just not the bees we're talking about.
Huh?
There's like Dominicans.
What is it,
but they're
wasp?
bee. Right?
That's not a black.
But they are black.
I guess they are black.
Like, I tried to do this as a joke because I'm like, Dominican is not a color. There's no
Yeah.
Dominican crayon.
True.
I remember saying this to Colin Quinn like 20, I was like 5 years in. I was like, do you want that bit? I was like, it doesn't really fit in my act. I've
Yeah.
tried it, but you do stuff that it might fit into something. Looking back, he's like, what?
That's pretty bold.
Yeah, it was quite bold. I was like, you probably want this piece of material. Imagine a 5-year comic coming up to you. You've only met him twice, and he's like, why don't you take this piece of material?
Yeah. Hey, legend. Hey, guy who's huge on TV. Take this bit. I got an idea. You work with it.
But I tried it a few times, and people were like, I don't get it. And I was
like
like, it's because I'm like, they are black.
They're a B, but they're also a D. But they're a B from D-R.
But I think the point is we stopped saying African American. We started saying black. So they say
Yes.
there's no black people, but I'm like, well, what does that mean, black people? If
Right.
you say African American, yes, Pedro Martinez is not African American. He's Dominican American.
Yes. And then there's Haitian, which is also black.
Right.
And then there's Idris Elba, who's black, but from England.
Yes.
So he's a English American. No, African English?
Yeah.
English African.
And then I think there's a lot of black people that have nothing to do with Africa at all.
No, you got that right.
They're like, I'm just French, Canadian, and black.
Yeah.
Very tricky.
It is tricky. And then there's South African, which is a lot of whitey.
That's my wife.
Yeah, so she's African American. And then you'd think white is just white, but there's white people from all over.
Right.
So it would actually make more sense to go, oh, you're Scandinavian American,
Right. Good point.
than it would be to do it with black people, because black is just black.
Yeah.
Now, wait a minute.
Yeah, I don't
There's an
know.
Italian American. There's a.
Oh, yeah, we do
you know,
say that.
But then there's German American. There's English American. There's Irish American.
But you only say that now if you have the accent. You got to be from there. Like, you don't keep saying it. No one's like, oh, Joe List, the old Irish, Scottish, American comedian.
Yeah, but we do it with black because they came from Africa. It is strange. You know what it was? We just said black for so long that I think we had to change it just so we didn't get yelled at.
But then
And
we
we-
brought it back to black because African American is out again.
I think it's kind of out. Well, you see a lot of black guys, like Morgan Freeman's like, enough with this shit. I'm black.
Right.
Which is very confusing because you want to go, hey, black folk, get it? You guys figure it out and then let us know.
Shoot us an email. But even that
Please.
doesn't work
Well, not with
because
the shooting.
there's Latinx that all these people are calling Latinx, but all Latinos are like, I don't want to be called Latinx.
I know, I hate it. What are you, X-Men? Latin X-Men? It sounds like a superhero. Latinx.
It sounds like a fabric to me. Spandex,
Oh, yeah.
lycra spandex, Latinx.
Yeah. Or it just sounds like, my wife, my ex-wife. She was a Latinx. X marks the
My wife.
spot. All right.